Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. I hope you are having an amazing day at home. Alright, welcome back to our channel, Suara Sunnah, Facebook JPN Negeri Perlis, MyApps and also JAIPS. Okay, today I will discuss with you on how to get some marks for Section C, Paper 2 UPSR. I will help you to construct sentences, and also don't worry because I will help you throughout this, and I have simplified the steps for you. However, before I proceed with the lesson, I would like to clarify on one particular Facebook comment that I have read last Monday, and the questions asked was, shouldn't your instruction or your teaching be in English? Okay, I would like to clarify that I take into consideration of geographical factor, learners' learning ability, the different levels of exposure towards English language, and also learning styles, learning strategies, and also motivations. For me, it is crucial to note that learners watching this may come from urban, suburban, sub-rural, or maybe rural areas. Yeah. So during this critical time of COVID-19 virus spreading like a wildfire, and all schools have to be closed because of it, I personally feel that it is important for me to use a teaching methods that fits for all. Yeah. It is important to take into considerations and also into methods that some pupils watching this now are having English as their second language, which is what we call as ESL, English Second Language, or some of them may use English as their foreign language, which is EFL. Therefore, as I have mentioned in my previous slots, that I'll be using Bahasa Inggeris and also Bahasa Melayu during the teaching processes. Alright, pedagogically and linguistically speaking, the process of using our mother tongue, Bahasa Melayu, to explain the target language, which is Bahasa Inggeris, is what we call as code switching. Yeah? It is allowed to be used, especially when there is a need for pupils to understand the gist of the language, to boost their motivations to learn, and also as well as to cater to the pupils with different backgrounds. Okay? In fact, there are many studies that have been done locally by our local researchers, such as from UiTM, UIA, Universiti Islam Antarabangsa, UKM, Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia, and also UUM, Universiti Utara Malaysia, on code switching. In addition, there are also many international researchers have been conducting these particular studies on code switching, which are from the University of Auckland, New Zealand, Brock University of Canada, and it is evident that code switching, which is the use of mother tongue to explain on the target language, helps people to understand the target language better. So with that, I hope that I have answered and also clarified the questions asked by you, sir, and thank you so much. Right? Without further ado, let us proceed with our lesson today, which is on UPSR Section C exercise. Today I'm just going to show you on how to get a little bit of marks instead of getting 0. Alright, so this is one of the example that we can find in Section C. Yeah, there will be given like 4 pictures or even 3 pictures for you to construct sentences and construct sentences so that it can be a meaningful essay. Okay, now let's look at each of the pictures here. First picture, you can see that there is a girl crying, and picture number 2, you can see that 2 persons are talking with a girl crying, who is crying. Now the third picture, you can see that there is a information counter, and also the fourth picture, you can see that the girl is already with their father, and also the mother some sort like shaking hand with the 2 persons. Okay, now what the first thing that you should do is like what I've said in my first slots. We have done intro to action verbs. Second, we knowing regular verbs and irregular verbs. Third, we construct simple sentences and also compound sentences using the regular and irregular verb. And now the fourth slots that we are going to do is just exercise. So the first thing that you have to do when you look at this picture is that you have to find the verbs. Identify the verbs in picture 1, picture 2, picture 3 and picture 4. This is the most important thing that you have to do. That is why in my previous slots that I have stated that it is very crucial, it is very important for you to know what is irregular verb and what is regular verb. In case if you do not know what verbs is, then that will be a very big trouble for you to answer these questions, because the verb is what tells the sentence means. Yeah? Okay, so let's look at the first picture. The first picture, as we can see, the words given are when, shopping mall, saw, crying. So in this picture, there are verbs stated there. So what you have to do is to identify the verb first. Alright, number 1, the verb that you can see in the picture is went. Went. Yeah, went is the irregular verb. Okay, the second one is saw. Saw, melihat. Went, pergi. Saw, melihat. Alright. Now, shopping mall. What can you say about shopping mall? Is it shopping mall a verb? Adakah satu kata kerja? Shopping mall tu adalah satu kata kerja. Contohnya, the store. The store tu kata kerja ke? Aman Central. Dekat Alostar. Adakah Aman Central tu adalah shopping mall? No. Shopping mall is an object. Okay. So, crying. Crying is also a verb. Okay, now, I think we have done all the first picture. Now, we have identified all the verbs in the first picture. Moving on to the next picture, decided. Decided is membuat keputusan. Okay, now, second is helped. Membantu. Decided adalah membuat keputusan. Help adalah membantu. Okay, now, can you see any other verbs in the picture? Girl. Budak perempuan. Adakah budak perempuan itu adalah satu kata kerja, satu perbuatan? Budak perempuan itu adalah satu perbuatan? Tidak, kan? Okey, a girl ataupun dia, girl ni boleh menjadi satu subjek ataupun menjadi satu objek. Lost, irregular verb. Irregular verb. Kata yang lain dia lose, tapi ini adalah lost, irregular verb. Next, gave. Adakah give, memberi adalah salah satu kata kerja? Yes, memberi adalah salah satu kata kerja, di mana kita dah belajar dah give dan juga past tense dia akan menjadi gave. Jadi dia perubahan dalam dia punya base form. Apabila dia berubah dalam base form dia, iaitu dia tak jadi G-I-V-E-D, it suddenly become G-A-V-E. So meaning that it is an irregular verb. Okay, candy. Candy ni adalah macam coklat yang ada spiral tu. Jadi candy ni adakah satu objek ataupun satu kata kerja? Okay. Candy ni adalah salah satu objek, di mana dia tak menjadi satu kata kerja. Dia bukan adalah satu perbuatan. Okay. Now, let's look at the verbs found in picture 3. Took. Took, like I have stated before, took is the irregular verb. Made, also the irregular verb. You can see there are many irregular verbs in these questions. And also the last picture, we can see that the last verbs used is thanked. Thank is the regular verb. So the types of tenses used in these particular questions is past tense. Past tense meaning that benda tu dah lepas, dah terjadi. Kerana jikalau kata dia adalah dalam present tense, dia akan instead of when, daripada verb yang dalam gambar yang pertama tu, dia akan menjadi go. Tapi di sini dia letak jadi when. Kalau dalam gambar yang pertama, kalau dia adalah present tense, benda yang sedang berlaku, dia takkan jadi saw, dia akan menjadi see. Okay, so decide, dia akan jadi decide juga, dia takkan jadi decided. Helped, dia akan buang ed itu. Lost, dia akan jadi lose. Give, dia akan jadi give jikalau present tense. Took, patah balik menjadi take. Made akan menjadi balik make. M-A-K-E. Verbs in picture 4, thanked. Awak buang saja ed because this one is the regular verb. So we know that the type of tenses that we are using now is going to be past tense. Benda yang dah past. Now, let us look at the verbs in picture 1. Yang crying. Ingat tak lagi saya cakap kasut tinggi, di mana seorang wanita tak boleh pakai sebelah kasut tinggi, kalau tidak dia jadi tak stabil ataupun dia jadi herot. Kalau orang utara cakap tu herot lah. Jadi crying ni you don't have to worry, because apabila awak jumpa verb yang ada ing, terus cepat-cepat awak ingat 4 perkataan wajib yang saya kata mesti kena ada di hadapan dia, sama ada is, are, was ataupun were. Tergantung kepada type of tenses. It depends on the type of tenses. If it is in the present tense, you have to either use is or are, but depends on the plural or singular. Now, dekat sini kita dah tahu type of tenses is past tense. So, apa 2 perkataan wajib yang kita kena letak di hadapan crying? Ia adalah sama ada was ataupun were. So, crying di sini ingat kasut tinggi. And also don't forget the time frame yang kita dah belajar, yang to indicate that the tenses is on the past tense. So like for example, last weekend, last year, last Saturday, last Sunday, last Wednesday. You can use all this during your write up. Okay, now moving on to the next slides. Let's construct sentences. Now we know that now the verbs in the first picture is are, when, saw, and crying. So what you have to do now is to construct sentences. You know that there are 3 verbs in this picture. Kita dah tahu ada 3 verbs. Jadi apa perkara yang penting yang perlu awak kena tahu? Sekarang awak dah tahu verb. Apa yang verb ni adalah perkara yang duduk di tengah verb kan. So depan ni kita mesti kena ada subject, belakang dia mesti kita kena ada object. Now let us look at the whiteboard so that I can explain thoroughly on how you can construct the sentences. Okay, kita tengok sambil kita tengok dekat screen ya. Dekat sini dia ada when, shopping mall, saw, crying. So kita ada 3 verbs dekat sini, iaitu when, saw dengan crying. Saya cakap tadi, do not forget the time frame. So what is the time frame that we are going to use to indicate that the tenses is in the past tense? So we just put like a very simple one. Kita letak saja last weekend, comma. So kita dah tahu dah, benda ni memang kita dah letak time frame dia adalah last weekend, menandakan bahawa dia adalah dalam past tense. Now subject, kita tengok dekat situ 2 orang wanita. Kita bagi seorang saja nama. Just pick a name. Okay, for the first sentence, untuk permulaan ayat, for the introduction, pick a name. Maksudnya awak carilah satu-satu nama pun yang nama tu adalah nama wanita. So like for me, saya pilih nama Kamalia. Okay, because subject dia adalah dekat sini kita letak name. Sekejap lagi we will replace the name with she, he, they ataupun yang tertera dekat papan putih ni. Okay, verb. Perkara pertama sekali verb yang kita dah tengok tadi, first verb tadi, when kan. Masukkanlah balik when dekat sini. Masukkan balik when dekat sini. Okay. So, last weekend, Kamalia went. Sekarang objek dia apa dekat sini? Kita tengok dalam gambar. Dia cakap shopping mall. So, kita bina ayat balik. Last weekend, Kamalia went to the shopping mall. Titik. So awak dah dapat satu ayat yang lengkap, di mana di sini adalah kita bagi time frame, subject, verb dengan objek ataupun clause. Jadi with this sentence tak ada lagi alasan untuk awak nak dapat kosong untuk section C, kerana awak dah tahu cara-cara macam mana nak simplify, nak letak ikut jadual yang diberi. Sebab tu seperti yang saya cakap, if I stated earlier that it is very important for you to know the verbs. Okay, now the second thing is that kita dah dapat satu ayat yang lengkap. Sekarang kita masuk pula ayat yang kedua. Ataupun nak pertambahan ayat. Sekarang tadi kita bagi tahu satu nama saja kan? Sekarang kita nak bagi tahulah, kita nak acknowledge. Acknowledge tu untuk nak beri satu kenal pasti kepada lagi satu orang yang ikut Kamalia ni. Let's say that dia pergi dengan mak dia. So Kamalia ni kita nak kata ganti nama dia. Awak tak payahlah letak dalam karangan awak semua Kamalia. So you dalam bahasa Inggeris ni kita boleh replace, iaitu kita boleh guna pronoun. Kamalia ni adalah seorang budak perempuan. So jadi kata ganti nama kepada Kamalia, apa dia kata ganti nama dia? She lah, kerana dia perempuan. So ayat yang kedua kita tulis sebagai she. Time frame ataupun time connective kita nak bubuh, tak payah bubuh kerana di sini saya dah tulis dekat sini only when needed. Hanya apabila diperlukan sahaja baru awak tulis. Tak apa kalau awak tak tulis yang untuk ayat yang kedua, awak tak tulis last weekend ke just now ke, it's okay. Yang penting mula ayat ni awak dah menyatakan bahawa benda tu adalah dalam past tense, dalam past tense. So now kita letak Kamalia, kita gantikan nama dia sebagai she. Kita dah pakai dah nama she untuk dia sekarang. So, dia pergi dengan siapa? Pergi, verb kan? So, kita letaklah balik juga when di sini. So, she went. Dia dah dapat dah satu independent clause, iaitu ada satu subjek dan juga ada satu verb. So, she went, objek dia pergi dengan siapa? Kata dengan mak dia kan, contoh. So, she went with her mother. Awak dah dapat satu ayat yang lengkap dekat sini. Okey. Sekarang, apa lagi verb yang dia bagi? Kita tengok dekat skrin Verb yang dia bagi tadi when, kita dah letak dah when, kita dah tulis. Sekarang saw. Macam mana kita nak buat ayat saw? Kita masukkan dulu, tak apa dekat sini. Masukkan siap-siap saw dekat sini. Okey. So apa dia yang kita nak letak? Kita boleh letak time connective, iaitu secara tiba-tiba tengah di jalan, contohnya dekat Amal Central ke, dekat The Store ke, tiba-tiba dia ternampak. So tu kan nampak kan? So dekat sini bila kita nak guna perkataan tiba-tiba, kita boleh letak time connective seperti suddenly. Siapa yang nampak? Kamalia yang nampak. Suddenly she saw, dia nampak apa? A girl, nampak seorang budak perempuan. Dah dapat 3 ayat dekat sini. 1, 2, 3. So kita dah masukkan verb tu when dengan saw kita dah pakai. Sekarang apa lagi yang perlu kita letak? Verb yang seterusnya. Crying kan? Crying kita belum letak kan? Tapi crying tadi saya cakap apa? Kena letak was ataupun were sebab dia dalam kategori past tense, dan crying tu adalah ibarat macam kasut tinggi. Dia mesti ada support dia yang lagi satu benda tu. Jadi apa dia? So kita letaklah crying dekat sini. Okey. Crying. Sekejap lagi kita tengok Okey, siapa yang crying tu? Kita tengok siapa budak perempuan kan? Tadi dia saw a girl kan? So a girl ni dah menjadi satu subjek. Siapa yang menangis? Budak perempuan. Suddenly she saw a girl. Okey. Jadi dekat sini adalah the girl. Okey, kita tengok pula the girl ni berapa orang? Seorang. Satu orang. So kalau satu orang dekat sini, kita nak kena pakai apa dekat atas ni? Nak kena sokong kasut tinggi sebelah lagi. Was crying. Titik. Objek ni ataupun clause kalau tak ada, it's okay. Tak ada masalah. Because saya dah cakap dah hari tu, yang hari Isnin, independent clause mesti ada subjek dengan verb. Itu that's enough. Kalau tak ada objek pun, it's okay. So sekarang awak dah mendapat satu karangan untuk gambar yang pertama yang lengkap. Last weekend, Kamalia went to the shopping mall. She went with her mother. She saw a girl. Suddenly, she saw a girl. The girl was crying. Awak dah dapat satu ayat yang lengkap dekat sini. So, it's very easy kalau awak tahu apa itu verb. Awak hanya substitute saja masuk dalam table yang diberi. Okay, now, mari kita tengok dekat sini. Okay, last weekend, Kamalia went to the shopping mall. She went with her mother. Suddenly, she saw a girl. The girl was crying. Okay, dekat sini dah 22 words. Dah ada 22 patah perkataan. Okay, now kita tengok lagi untuk verbs in picture number 2. Okay, so verbs in picture number 2, apa dia? Dia ada dekat sini, decided, helped, lost and gave. Apa dia? Kita nak letak time frame dia. Sekarang kita tengok sekali lagi. Verbs decided, helped, lost and gave. Sekarang kita padam ni balik. Sama juga, kita pakai jadual yang sama juga. Okay, now kita padam balik. Okay. Okay, sekarang kita tengok verbs yang untuk gambar yang kedua, kita pakai dia sebagai decided, helped. Yang ada di situ, yang what is given for you is decided, helped. Lepas tu lost and also gave. Okay, so next, time frame ataupun time connective yang boleh kita pakai selepas itu. So selepas itu kita bagi dia sebagai next. Next, comma. Tadi kita pakai nama Kamalia kan? So apa kata ganti nama kepada Kamalia? She. Very good. Next, she. Verb apa yang pertama sekali kita pakai tadi? Verb yang kita dah kenal pasti dalam gambar yang kedua adalah decided. So next, she decided to approach the girl. Ini adalah awak kena tambah sendiri. To approach the girl. Untuk mendekati budak perempuan tersebut. Okey, selepas tu kita nak pakai verb help pula. Letaklah help dekat sini. Siapa yang membantu? She. Masih Kamalia. Mula dengan huruf besar lah kan? Because dia dah mula ayat. So she helped. Siapa? Dia membantu siapa? Pelajar. Dia membantu budak perempuan yang tadi. So she helped her. Titik. Habis. Simple. Lepas tu, the girl was lost. Siapa lagi yang dekat sini? Yang hilang tu? The girl was lost. Okay. Now, sekarang give. Irregular verb. Give apa? Give candy kan? Siapa yang memberi candy tu? Kamalia. So dekat sini awak boleh ulang semula balik ayat dia. Kamalia. Selepas awak guna she ni is okay. Kalau nanti ujung sikit awak nak patah balik guna nama dia, tak apa. Tapi awak jangan guna daripada awal Kamalia sampai kedua Kamalia, ketiga Kamalia, keempat Kamalia. Meaning that you don't know the pronoun. That is why you keep using the same name over and over again. Sebab hakikatnya kita boleh kata ganti nama dia sebagai she. Tapi awal-awal tadi kita dah guna Kamalia, and then kita guna she. Sekarang kita patahlah balik guna Kamalia. It's okay, boleh. Okay, Kamalia. Sekarang verb yang diberi adalah yang keempat adalah gave. Awak letaklah dalam kurungan gave ni. Kamalia give. Bagi apa tadi? Kita dah letak objek candy kan? So Kamalia gave a candy. Dekat siapa dia bagi? To the girl. So awak dah dapat ayat yang satu perenggan yang lengkap. Next, she decided to approach the girl. She helped her. The girl was lost. Kamalia gave a candy to the girl. Dapatlah satu ayat yang lain dah dekat sini. Okey. Time connective ni insyaAllah nanti saya bagi list dia dekat awak. Time frame saya dah bagi dah. Time connective ni awak boleh google dekat internet pun banyak ada. Awak just type dekat Google time connective. Ataupun untuk next slot saya akan bagi dekat awak contoh-contoh time connective. Okay, next. She decided to approach the girl. She helped her. The girl was lost and afraid. Kamalia gave a candy to the girl. Okay, saya nak sentuhkan sikit tentang to approach. Perkataan to approach. Okay, kita tengok dekat sini sikit. Sekejap. To approach. To approach. Okay, approach ni adalah satu kata kerja juga. Okay, sepatutnya dia akan jadi approach lah kan. Yang ada ed sebab dia kita letak dia sebagai past tense. Tapi harus diingatkan apabila ada perkataan to, belakang yang ada ed ni semua kena hapuskan. Dia tak boleh ada. Dia patah balik kepada kata asal. Sama lah juga dengan konsep model. Model yang di mana kita kata can, could, should, would, will. Ini semua adalah model. Yang kita panggil dia sebagai model. Di mana apabila ada model juga, contohnya macam can approach. Contohnya kita letak can approach ya. Okey, kita tambah ed kat sini. Salah macam ni. So dia tetap can approach, dia kena buang ed. Sebab apa? Can adalah dalam kategori model. Samalah juga dengan konsep to. Selepas perkataan to tak boleh ada ed, kecuali ada certain words yang boleh ada ed ataupun ing, iaitu kita panggil dia sebagai jiran. Jiran ni saya tak nak explain lagi dekat awak. If you really like the language, kalau awak teringin nak buat further in TESOL, teaching English as second language, of course you will come across the word jiran bila awak belajar di universiti nanti. Tapi for your level year 6, I don't think that I will explain to you about jiran because I don't want to confuse you much. Okay, now kita tengok. Okay, picture number 3. So verbs that we can see in the picture number 3 are took and also made. Mari kita tengok contoh ayat dia. Okey, time frame yang kita pakai ataupun time connective yang kita pakai after that. Tadi kita pakai next kan? First kali kita pakai last weekend, lepas tu next, lepas next, after that. So after that, subjek dia adalah she, verb dia adalah took. Took siapa di situ? Objek dia. Took the girl. Pergi ke mana? Took the girl to the information counter. Okay, clear dekat situ awak dah dapat SVO. Now, awak tengok dekat information counter tu ada seorang wanita kan? So beri nama dekat orang wanita tu. The lady. Kalau awak tak tahu nak bagi nama Aminah ke apa ke, it's okay. You just letak the lady. The lady, dia buat apa lady tu? Made kan? Made, buat. Made an announcement. Buat satu pengumuman yang bahawa ada orang kehilangan anak. Okay. Clear dekat sini. So, after that, she took the girl to the information counter. The lady made an announcement. Senang saja. SVO. That is why sebab saya suka cakap berulang kali memberitahu bahawa verb tu adalah sangat penting. Apabila contohnya pelajar-pelajar saya, jikalau mereka tak tahu verb, saya dah bagi tahu dekat dia orang, maknanya karangan dia orang takkan menjadi satu karangan yang meaningful, ya. Okey. So now kita tengok verbs in picture 4. So tak semestinya verbs yang diberi dalam soalan tu awak kena guna hak tu saja. Awak boleh tambah. You can add your own verbs according to the pictures given. Okay, so now in picture number 4 we can see that the verb we use is thanked. Yang tu yang diberi. Thank is what given to us. Okay, sekarang kita boleh tambah. Contohnya sekejap lagi kita akan mula menulis. Okay, at last, akhir sekali apabila dah buat announcement, the information counter, the lady at the information counter made an announcement. So what happened after that? At last, akhir sekali. Subjek, apa dia subjek yang awak nampak, subjek baru dalam gambar ni? Parents tu kan? Parents, ibu dan ayah tu datang ambil anak dia. So subjek yang ada di sini adalah the girl's parents. At last, the girl's parent came to the information counter. Maksudnya apabila ada came, datang tu adalah kata kerja yang awak tambah sendiri. Di mana di sini kita beri nama sebagai penambahan idea awak sendiri. Okey. Next, barulah awak masukkan verb yang diberi. Apa verb yang diberi? Setiap satu ayat yang diberi, setiap satu perkataan yang diberi, awak wajib guna ya. Awak tak boleh tinggal walaupun satu pun. Awak mesti kena guna. Okey, kerana itu dia beri untuk membantu awak membuat karangan. Jika awak tak ambil, maksudnya macam awak ignore lah, awak abaikan, tak boleh. Sebab yang ni memang kena guna. Orang dah bagi nak tolong awak tu sebenarnya. Okey, so they thanked. Mereka ni the girl's parent kan, dua orang kan. Jadi ramai, they, mereka. Thanked, mengucapkan terima kasih. Dekat siapa ucapkan terima kasih? To who? Okey, Kamalia and her mother for their help. They thanked Kamalia and her mother for their help. Next, kita tengok barisan yang ketiga. The girl felt happy. Felt, berasa happy. And then Kamalia and her mother felt, berasa glad, rasa senang hati. They did a good deed for the day. Mereka telah membuat satu kebaikan pada hari tersebut. Yang ni adalah a very simple sentence yang awak boleh guna, iaitu awak letakkan semua ayat-ayat ataupun verb yang diberi dalam simple sentences. SVO, subject, verb, object, subject, verb, object. Namun begitu, untuk slot yang ketiga, yang slot yang lepas, the previous slot, I have taught you about constructing simple sentence and compound sentence, kan? Sekarang ini adalah simple sentence. Now, kita masuk kepada compound sentence. Dalam karangan awak, perlulah juga awak tulis compound sentence kerana fanboys, itu conjunction tu, awak dah belajar masa darjah 4. Dalam buku teks darjah 4 dah diperkenalkan dekat awak daripada darjah 4. Jadi sepatutnya awak bila naik darjah 6, awak dah boleh guna sedikit demi sedikit tentang conjunction yang fanboys yang saya dah ajar hari Isnin hari tu. Okay. Let's try to use compound sentences if any. Jikalau ada dalam ayat yang kita bagi yang dekat skrin ni, awak boleh tak cari satu compound untuk menjadikan dia satu compound sentence. Kita baca Last weekend, Kamalia went to the shopping mall. She went with her mother. Suddenly, she saw a girl. The girl was crying. Okey. Dekat sini compound yang kalau awak boleh tengok, awak boleh guna perkataan tetapi, but. Last weekend, Kamalia went to the shopping mall with her mother. Suddenly, she saw a girl, but the girl was crying. Maksudnya awak dah dapat satu compound sentence. Bila awak tulis satu compound sentence, dapatlah markah lebih dekat awak kerana awak telah mengingat semula apa yang telah awak belajar pada tahun 4 masa awak darjah 4 tu. Jadi gunalah apabila dah diajar. You have to do lots of writing, you have to do lots of exercises so that it will be smooth when you write, ya. Okay, now kita tengok yang ayat yang kedua. Next, she decided to approach the girl. She helped her. The girl was lost and afraid. Kamalia gave a candy to the girl. Apa yang boleh awak letak dekat sini? Agak-agak awak lah antara fanboys. Fanboys tu. So, kita try letak so. Kita tengok apa jadi. Next, she decided to approach the girl. She helped her. The girl was lost and afraid. So, Kamalia gave a candy to the girl. Budak perempuan itu hilang dan berasa dalam keadaan ketakutan. Jadi sehubungan dengan itu, untuk nak pujuk budak yang takut dan rasa kerana dia hilang ni, Kamalia gave a candy to the girl, memberi coklat lah, macam sweets to the girl. Okey, so guna so. Bila awak tengok dekat sini, the girl was lost and afraid. Dia adalah satu independent clause kerana dia mempunyai satu subjek dan dia juga ada verb. So meaning that is independent clause. So Kamalia gave a candy to the candle. Kamalia gave a candy pun adalah satu independent clause di mana dia ada satu subjek dan dia juga ada satu verb. So kita letak sajalah so untuk nak hubungkan dua ayat ni. Instead of you put a full stop, you can use so that it will join and become a compound sentence. Okay, maksudnya dekat sini you really have to do lots of exercises and also practices so that it will be easier for you to write. Sebab benda ni memang require skills, ya, untuk awak menulis. It's a writing skills. Alright, let's try to use a compound sentence if any. Okay, after that, she took the girl to the information counter. The lady made an announcement. Agak-agak awak apa yang awak nak letak dekat sini? After that, she took the girl to the information counter. The lady made an announcement. Kita boleh join ni menjadi satu ayat saja. Okay. After that, she took the girl to the information counter and the lady made an dekat sini. Dia membawa budak perempuan itu pergi ke information counter dan pekerja wanita yang bekerja di information counter itu membuat satu pengumuman. Dekat sini awak tengok, she took the girl. She took, subject, verb. Independent clause dekat situ. Awak join conjunction, itu fanboys tadi yang saya bagi pada hari Isnin tu. Awak boleh join dengan perkataan the lady made an announcement. The lady maksud dia subject, made adalah verb. So independent clause, fanboys, independent clause, dia menjadi satu compound sentence. Ingat formula ni, independent clause, comma, fanboys, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Independent clause. Dia akan menjadi satu compound sentence. Kalau awak ingat formula ni, insyaAllah awak boleh buat. Pasal independent clause is very easy. It only consists subject and verb. Okay, now, at last, the girl's parent came to the information counter. They thanked Kamalia and her mother for their help. The girl felt happy. Kamalia and her mother felt glad. They did a good deed. Okay. Now, kita tengok apa yang kita boleh buat. Okey, kita join dah menjadi satu compound sentence. At last, the girl's parent came to the information counter. They thanked Kamalia and her mother for their help. The girl felt happy. Kamalia and her mother felt glad, for they did a good deed. Sekarang ingat balik apa yang saya dah ajar pada hari Isnin yang lepas. For tu sama maksud dengan because. The same meaning with because. Cuba awak substitute for dengan because. Kamalia and her mother felt glad because they did a good deed. Sama maksud dia. For dengan because boleh diguna sekali. It's up to you. Kalau awak nak guna because pun boleh, awak nak guna for pun boleh. Sama, membawa maksud yang sama. Okay. So here is the complete essay. Karangan awak dah menjadi satu karangan yang lengkap di sini. Last weekend, Kamalia went to the shopping mall with her mother. Suddenly, she saw a girl, but the girl was crying. Next, she decided to approach the girl. She helped her. The girl was lost and afraid. So, Kamalia gave a candy to the girl. After that, she took the girl to the information counter and the lady made an announcement. At last, the girl's parent came to the information counter. They thanked Kamalia and her mother for their help. The girl felt happy. Kamalia and her mother felt glad, for they did a good deed. So 96 words. What you have to write is between 80 words to 100 words. Antara 80 patah perkataan hingga ke 100. You don't exceed 100 if possible. Jikalau awak exceed 100, the more words you write, the more errors you tend to make. Banyak lagi salah yang awak boleh buat dalam karangan awak. That is why dia dah allotted between 80 words to 100 words, meaning that it is just nice for you to write for your level, UPSR level. So here kalau 96 words boleh. Jangan kurang daripada 80, jangan lebih daripada 100 jikalau boleh. Kalau lebih sikit-sikit lah, 101, 102 tu it's okay lah. Okay? Tapi kalau boleh tu memang control yourself 100 and that's it. Lesser than that, not lesser than 80 words. Tidak kurang daripada 80. Ya? Okay, now saya harap dengan jadual yang saya dah bagi dekat awak tu dapat memudahkan cara untuk awak nak menulis walaupun sedikit karangan. Don't give up because actually section C ni banyak membantu awak untuk mendapat markah. Tapi jika awak tak tahu cara macam mana nak tulis, it is boleh menarik banyak markah daripada awak ya. Okay, so now mari kita tengok kita punya Kahoot ya. Kita masuk Kahoot, kita punya game pin adalah connection loss connection loss. Sekejap ya. Okey, sementara tu awak boleh tengok balik sekejap ya. Sementara kita set up balik apa ni internet connection. Okey, awak boleh baca dulu yang ni dan awak tengok dulu dekat mana yang pertambahan ayat yang boleh awak lakukan. Mungkin awak boleh edit daripada jawapan yang diberi ni. Maybe you have better answer than this. You can also write at home ya, tulis dekat rumah. Okey. Boleh. Sekejap ya, kita dapat internet connection. Okey, sorry for the technical errors dekat situ tadi. Okey, 1468595. Okey, di sini kita ambil dalam, kalau boleh 100 player ya, untuk kita buat Kahoot sebentar lagi. Ada 10 soalan. Okey, ada daripada Sekolah Sri Indra, Mukris, Tahira, STB, Iskandar STB. Okey. Anas SKT. Okey, Haris Kentang McD. Okey, kita tengok Kentang McD. Siapa Kentang McD? Okey, sekarang kita masuk minta maaf kerana kita ada kekangan masa juga di sini. Jadi kita akan mulakan kita punya quiz sekarang. Quiz ni kalau awak nak, nanti saya akan masukkan dalam quizzes supaya awak boleh buat. Tapi at the moment kita guna Kahoot dulu ya. Okay, 150 player. Let us start. How simple what if compound? Soalan 1, compound or simple? Ali eats chicken rice. Adakah ini adalah satu ayat simple ataupun satu ayat compound? Ali eats chicken rice. SVO. Kita ambil dalam 100 answer Kita ambil 100 answer and then kita skip. Okay. Due to time constraint, I'm very sorry that I have to skip these questions because we are somehow like running out of time also. Skip ya. Okay. Sekarang ada 119 yang mendapat jawapan yang betul. Ali eats chicken rice. Ya, SVO. Jadi dia memang adalah simple sentence. Okay. Next. 2 out of 10. 2 of 10 iaitu compound or simple. Ali and Abu swim in the sea with their father. Ali and Abu swim in the sea with their father. Adakah dia simple sentence ataupun compound sentence? Kita ambil 100 answer 80. Okey. Sekarang compound sentence. Oh tak, dia simple sentence ya, dia subject verb object object. SVOO. Ya, subject ada 2 dekat situ, Ali and Abu. Okey, so jawapan dia adalah simple sentence. Kat sini mungkin tertipu dengan perkataan and dekat depan tu ya. Okay, now. Ku Daniel. Okay. Compound or simple? Ganesh and Jason worked at the office. Ada dua subjek dekat sini. SVO. Subject, verb, object. Adakah dia simple sentence ataupun compound sentence? Okay, kita ambil 100 answer saja ya. Okay, now simple sentence. Betul. Ku Daniel, Sarah SK Sri Indra ni, Kaisara. Okay, compound or simple? Ali wanted to cycle to the park, but it was raining cats and dogs outside. Ada perkataan but. So is it simple or compound sentence? We only take about 100 answers ya. Okay, so compound sentence because dia ada but. Alhamdulillah ramai yang dapat betul. Okay, next. Ku Daniel, Haris, Sarah. Okay. The bus left her for she was late. Ada independent clause, ada fanboys, ada independent clause. So dia ada simple or compound sentence. Okay, kita skip ya. Okay, compound sentence. Okay, next. 6 out of 10. Okay. What is the formula of compound sentence? Tadi saya dah beritahu formula. Formula compound sentence. Kita ambil 50 answer ya. Sebab kekangan masa, saya minta maaf. Okay. Oops. Independent clause. Fanboys. Independent clause. Okay. Biru ya. Okay. Now, 7 of 10. Fanboys are, apa dia? Tadi saya dah sebut, baru sekejap tadi saya sebut. Kita ambil 50 answers ya, minta maaf. Okay, jawapan ni merah ya. For and no but or yet. So, dia bukan from. Dia for, F-O-R. Okay, 8. Last Monday, Abu ada kasut tinggi kat situ playing. Abu seorang. Last Monday tu, past tense. Kita ambil 50 answer ya. Okay. Was jawapannya was. Kerana dia dah past tense. Yesterday, Johari and Vinesh. Jangan risau ya, kerana quiz ni saya akan masukkan dalam quizzes dan saya akan letakkan dalam saya punya Padlet. Sekejap lagi saya tunjuk dekat awak, dekat mana awak nak dapatkan dia punya quiz tu. Okay, so were jumping. Today, Lucy is. Today. Ada is. Ni kasut tinggi sebelah lagi, cari. Okay. Is going to the mall. Okay. Sorry sebab we are running out of time. Nanti saya akan tunjukkan dekat awak dekat sini. Okay. Okay, now this is your task sekarang. Jikalau siapa yang mempunyai free time, you can answer these questions. Write a story based on the pictures. You may use the given words to help you. Write your story between 80 to 100 words. Awak boleh klik dekat URL ni ataupun dekat scan the QR code di mana awak akan masuk ke website yang ada macam ni. Okey, klik tanda tambah dekat ujung ni yang warna pink dan awak boleh tulis karangan awak. Untuk nak enlarge gambar, awak hanya tekan saja dekat gambar yang tertera dekat situ, dia akan enlargekan gambar tu. So if you are willing to share your answer, you may do so. Okay, click the picture to enlarge and click open in new window untuk membesarkan gambar tersebut. Okay, you may write your nickname or school name ataupun negeri yang awak duduk. Dan jikalau tidak keberatan, saya akan pilih jawapan yang telah dimasukkan dalam Padlet ni untuk saya discuss untuk next slot saya pada 14 hari bulan 4. Alright, with that, do not give up. A diamond is just a chunk of coal that did well under pressure. Okay, thank you so much for paying attention. Stay home. Stay at home, duduk rumah, hapus COVID-19. Thank you frontliners, Perlis mengaji. Do whatever you can for the frontliners. Okay, they sacrifice their time just for us to be safe. Yeah. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum.